So Fallout 76 just recently got about a 10 gigabyte new update, this marking its Halloween 2021 update. This is going to be about 10 gigabytes if you're on consoles or actually on PC and Steam for some reason. On Microsoft and Bethesda.net it's only 2 gigabytes, and this one was actually quite highly anticipated. The only Halloween update Fallout 76 has gotten thus far was back in 2019. It's been nothing since then. It's definitely one of those updates. It has some fixes, it has some controversy, as well as some pretty nice new features, but let's look at what it actually adds in. The biggest and most notable thing is Spooky Scorch now appearing in the world. Until November 2nd, 2021, Spooky Scorch will spawn wherever Scorch spawn in Fallout 76, as long as that place is outdoors. So whenever a Scorch would spawn, there's a 10% chance of it being one of the spooky variants. And this includes outdoor events, so that would be a great way to farm these guys. They show up in 6 distinctive outfits, have a nice little tune to them, and overall it's kind of cool and kind of familiar. These guys will be legendary and always drop 2 notable things: mystery candy and a spooky treat bag. When you open your treat bag, you'll find a variety of things within, some boring stuff. A goodie will always spawn, to something minor like a stim pack, alcohol, or grenades. You'll get contextual ammo based on which weapon you are holding when you open it, and then you have a chance at some good or rare rewards. All the rare rewards are a repeat of what we had in the past Halloween event back in 2019, that being Mischief Night. Mischief Night was only actually available for a week in 2019, so although all of these rewards are a repeat of what we had previously, I'm going to go out on a whim and say most players probably don't have all of them yet. And if you never participated in Mischief Night, you'll have none of these, because this is the second time they've ever been available. You can get all kinds of different themed jack-o'-lanterns, a couple of pumpkin racks to place in your camp, as well as a couple of new costumes added in, of course these also being Halloween themed. And unlike some of the other events similar to this one, there's no way to actually craft these goodie bags and there's no tiers. It's just one version, you get what you get. But then the flip side, you do have mystery candy, which is also pretty cool. You can just eat it when you actually find it, and this will give you a special stat bonus for 10 minutes, or you could actually get the spooky candy bowl for free on the Atomic Shop and set up trick-or-treating at your camp, or what's even far more fun, go trick-or-treating. So if a camp has a candy bowl placed, it'll get a special icon on the map, that being a pumpkin. And basically you go up and can take candy out of a candy bowl at other people's camps, going trick-or-treating, and there's a ton of challenges around this, including one with an exclusive reward if you actually have people trick-or-treat at your camp. But this is a really cool interaction in the game. Player-created content is one of the best parts of Fallout 76 overall. This is a phenomenal and festive way to show it off. Many of the camps I went to actually had little designs or something set up around their candy bowl, and it just made the whole experience a lot more enjoyable, checking out these various camps as well as actually completing some of the challenges along the way. With that said, that is the entirety of this though. That is the Halloween event for 2021, which is pretty bare bones. Not to mention, if you take out the trick-or-treating, it's basically an exact copy of the Santa Scorched event they do for the holiday season. So considering that Fallout has such a basis around Halloween, you literally find all these Halloween decorations in the world, and that people are anticipating this, there definitely was some disappointment, and I totally get where that's coming from. I do like that trick-or-treating aspect. I think it's kind of cool and fun, although it's kind of turned into a bit of a grind if you're trying to do it for yourself. So overall, it's kind of a mixed bag. I like this, but I feel like it's a good background one. Then it would be nice if we actually had a real event to do in the future. The Mothman Equinox event should be a cool Halloween event if they end up using that, but it's coming out in December, despite the fact that there's not an equinox in December either. That's in March and September. The solstice is in December. Either way, of course, around this, Bethesda has to monetize things. There's a couple of Halloween things that are interesting, but have also caused some pushback. One of the big ones being the Haunted House bundle, which naturally is a bundle of things that are creepy, spooky, and camp objects you can build in Fallout 76. If you want to buy it for $18 or 1,800 credits, that's all cool. People are actually pretty happy. They released it relatively early this time. In the past, they released Halloween stuff like 2 days beforehand, so you only had 2 days to actually display it, and then it kind of lost relevancy. But something pretty sketchy Bethesda did with this is they sold the Haunted House bundle a couple of weeks ago, which had some haunted house things you could build and set up in your camp. But a week after that bundle went live, they separately sell the doors as well as some stairs for it. Now technically the doors could be used on anything and the stairs could be used anywhere, but naturally you're going to put down this haunted house themed door frame and then probably want a door to put in it, and then you kind of have to buy the haunted house door. I think most people would. Super sketchy move by Bethesda. Definitely not a good look. The bundle's already $18. Was it really that hard to just throw in the doors and the stairs? Something else that wasn't quite as controversial but still did ruffle a few feathers is the Fallout First catch-up bundle. So basically when you're a subscriber to Fallout First for Fallout 76, you get free stuff periodically, but the free free stuff goes away, and then you just can't get it anymore. Except now, if you are a member of Fallout First, you can buy this bundle, it's not free anymore, to get some of the formerly available free stuff. So if you missed out on some of the Ranger armors, now is a time you can get it. Is this ideal? No. They should probably just make the Fallout First stuff permanently available, but they want people to keep resubscribing to get new things. I still feel like this stuff could have been offered temporarily for free again to kind of inspire a new wave of subscriptions, but at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing going on. I would even argue the Haunted House bundle is far more egregious. Although, at the same time, Fallout 76 right now is completely free to play. And this includes Steam, so if you want to just try the game out for the first time on Steam, it is free right now, and if you buy it after the fact, you get it right now on sale for just $10, 75% off that $40 price tag. For $10, this game is incredibly easy to recommend, even if you never touch the multiplayer components, which would be kind of dumb because it is a multiplayer game, but even just the vanilla story, some of the DLC stories, all of those free updates we've gotten along the way, $10, definitely justifiable. You could never play the end game and it's still very worth it at that price. Or just try for free, see if you like it. It's definitely a good few hours of fun messing around with some friends even. In the past, free play sessions like this have definitely led to some more glitching or exploiting because people could just create new accounts and play the game for free and then exploit, dupe, etc. So I wouldn't be shocked if that happens this time also, but honestly, the game is so far gone in terms of a healthy economy that it really doesn't even matter. And on that note, I feel like there is just this growing level of general frustration with Fallout 76 right now. Players are kind of hitting that expiration point. They've been playing the game for a couple of years now, and they're just kind of getting tired of the same old grind, not enough new content to keep them interested. And the reason I bring this up is, if you look in some of the popular forums, if you look at some of the popular Discords or other methods of communication around this game, it just seems to be this rising status that people have, where they don't really play actively anymore. They'll come on occasionally and then just log off pretty quickly. And although that's almost always been a thing, it feels like now more so than ever, it's getting more support, or more people in the comments being like, oh yeah, me too. It'll be interesting to see if Bethesda can rectify this in 2022 with expeditions. I don't think anything possibly this year will actually reverse this at all, but I imagine now over the next couple of months, especially after this free weekend, we might see a bit of another dip with Fallout 76's player count has kind of hit a sparse season. Expeditions could be the next big cool thing, and it definitely has potential, but at least right now I'm still uncertain. Although a few other things I just wanted to include at the end of this video, some bugs that were fixed with this update. Nothing super glamorous, it was a super minor one. They fixed an exploit with explosive bait where you could actually do damage to other players with it, even if they didn't engage in PvP combat to you. So technically in Fallout 76, if you are able to PvP, both players kind of have to agree to it by attacking each other. This was a workaround, so you could kill people without that. And it was a super popular griefing method for YouTubers, for just players people don't like. They made it so progress is saved after crafting a legendary item at a workbench. This is also likely to combat some of the dupes. There used to be this method where you could craft something legendary, but then if you didn't like it, crash the server or crash yourself, and then you would have that progress reset and you could re-roll and just do this endlessly till you got the thing you wanted. This seems to be a workaround to prevent that in the future, which is definitely nice to see, as well as the auto stim legendary armor will no longer automatically use stim packs if a highly irradiated player's available health is full. So basically, if you were a bloodied build, you could now actually use this legendary armor piece, which is quite nice. Toxic Goo is also back, which is nice. They flipped around that scrap box that was facing the wrong way on release with one of the survival tents, which was hilarious. And they fixed a crash on PlayStation if you placed a junkyard fountain in your camp, which was actually a pretty pervasive issue. People are having a lot of problems with that one. With that said, that's the update. Again, a relatively minor one. There is some controversy, some great stuff, some interesting stuff. Probably not a good reason to come back if you weren't already playing, but if you never played, I do think it's worth trying out. A lot of cool content you could get for just $10.